Good afternoon and welcome to our Graduates Virtual Pre-Registration Forum interactive session. My name is Gavin Francis and I will be your chairperson for this evening. I would like to introduce to you some of our university's officers. To my left, we have Mr. Clayton Moore, the Assistant Registrar for the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management. To my right, I have Mr. Khalil Hutchinson, Student Union President, and also joining via Blackboard Collaborative, I have with us Dr. Paul Ivy, Associate Professor for the School of Graduate Research and Entrepreneurship. In addition, I also have Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson from the Student Financing Department. This evening, we're joined here to facilitate our registration and enrollment process for our graduate students. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we have opted to do a virtual session instead of one being physical. At this moment, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Paul Ivy to bring greetings. Dr. Ivy, if you may proceed.
Thank you, Ms. Francis. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm assuming the students are on and are hearing me as well?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I want to acknowledge the presence of my university colleagues, Mr. Clayton Moore, Assistant Registrar for Admissions and Enrollment, and Ms. Francis, our host, moderator, I should say, who is our Graduate Studies Admissions Assistant. And of course, our other president. There's the president of the university, and then there's the president of the Student Union, Mr. Hutchinson. And of course, Ms. McLeod Tomlinson from the Finance Department. And of course, our prospective students who are about to join us. Good afternoon. It is a pleasure for me to bring you greetings. And since we are dealing with graduate students, I just want to indicate that the School of Graduate Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship is that unit here at our university that sets policy and is also involved with the standards and quality assurance as it relates to our graduate education. I'm pleased that you have taken the decision to enroll, to join us here at the University of Technology, Jamaica, the birthplace of greatness. And you know, I was thinking about an image that I could use to indicate how wise you are to have chosen UTech. You know, sometimes a person is at a five-star hotel, a restaurant, the restaurant at a five-star hotel. You're ordering your meal and the waiter comes over and says, give you a choice of wine. And when you choose a particular vintage, he says, oh, wise choice, you have chosen well. So I say the same to you, that in looking at the choices that you have and have chosen UTech for your graduate education, you have chosen wisely. UTech, what we are doing here for this forum is to give you the relevant information so that you can start right and end great. I want to let you know that we here in the graduate school, we have prepared additional information beyond what you will be getting here this afternoon. So for example, there is our thesis and dissertation manual that sets out all the details of the information that you will need to guide you in finalizing and packaging and presenting your thesis at the end of your studies that require research for presentation and acceptance by us. And there are other policies that will be made available to you from time to time that has now also been included in our student handbook. The university has taken the decision to produce one handbook for our students, to include graduate students as well. In segueing into the value of education, I want to give you a quote from Nelson Mandela, who we know to be a global icon, that a country cannot develop unless its people are educated. And advanced studies is what graduate education is all about. You know, it is said that undergraduate students are largely consumers of knowledge, whereas graduate students are expected to apply knowledge, and also at the master's level, and also to generate new knowledge, to extend the boundaries and the frontiers of knowledge, in particular at the PhD level. And we offer several PhDs, masters, and postgraduate diploma programs here as well. So the second quote I want to share with you is from the World Bank. And it says that education is central to the long-term development of human capital and to economic growth. And it empowers people and strengthens nations, while also providing individuals with the skills they need to compete in today's global economy, where a high-quality education is critical for creating, applying, and disseminating knowledge. Graduate studies is demanding, it is exciting, and it is also rewarding. And what do I mean? It is demanding in that it requires students to exit and exert themselves well beyond their cognitive comfort zones. It is exciting and rewarding in that it provides opportunities for students to be creative and to produce work that extends the boundaries of existing knowledge or apply existing knowledge in novel ways to advance societal welfare. We will be challenging you with the courses of study that you will be pursuing. We will be stretching you beyond your normal comfort zone, and that's the only way that growth will occur. So, higher education institutions such as UTech is one of the key institutions, UTech that is one of the key institutions that is going to produce the human capital in the form of persons that are highly skilled and trained to advance Jamaica's development and the realization of Vision 2030. Here at UTech, through the graduate courses that we offer, we are committed to preparing the next generation of thought leaders and researchers who will advance the stock of knowledge and solve problems. So I welcome you to the UTech fraternity, as you will join us in short order. And I can assure you that all of our resources and our facilities will be directed towards ensuring your success. We are here this afternoon to assist you with information that you can start right in order to end great. And I did mention the image of being in the restaurant and being served the fine wine that you have chosen. I want to leave you with another image, which you should use for motivation if, as you are going through and the journey gets challenging, as it invariably will. That is the nature of graduate studies. There's a P word that's important for graduate students, which is perseverance. Perseverance throughout the course of study. And that perseverance will take you to the image that I want to leave with you for you to burn it into your mind. Picture yourself walking across the stage on graduation day. You have heard your name announced, You walk up in your gown, you go across the stage, and you are presented with your degree certificate. When the going gets tough and you feel that you are at a low point, just pull on that image to guide you through, because that is the ultimate that you're seeking to achieve. Your reward for the work that you will put in, and thereafter a lifetime of a successful career in your chosen field of study. We are here to assist you, we are here to support you, and to ensure that your success is guaranteed. Thank you for the opportunity and welcome to the University of Technology, Jamaica. You have chosen wisely. Thank you very much.
And encouraging greeting. At this time, yes, I would like to give special welcome to our prospective students who have joined us, and some will be joining us via YouTube this evening. What I will also encourage our students to do is to utilize our YouTube chat. You may send your questions so that they may be answered. We have Miss Chantal Clark who will be assisting with noting those questions so that they can be answered. At this time, I will continue with our program. I will now ask Mr. Clayton Moore to give a few words.
Thank you very much, Miss Francis, our postgraduate admissions assistant. So Miss Francis is a person who will liaise very closely with you once you decide to come here and you have sent her your notice that you intend to pursue the course. Miss Francis will send you further correspondence as to how you go about enrolling for your course here at UTech. And she's going to give you a brief overview of that shortly, and also let you know that that information is on our website for you to be able to access at will whenever you feel free. We want to really welcome you at UTech Jamaica. We have so many mandates and slogans and brands that we are. We are the University of Excellence, excellence through knowledge. We are the university home of world-class athletes, home of champions, home of innovators. And there are so many different innovations that we are doing in research. Many of you are doing various courses, whether it is in rural development, built environment, engineering, and that you will have the opportunity to also increase the knowledge base, not only of here in Jamaica, but to the wider world. So I want to welcome you, and the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management is here to assist you along with the faculty in all the things that you have with matters of enrollment, with matters of academic advisement. You will have further orientation from the faculties, and they will contact you and liaise with you in that respect. So welcome again, and we are glad to have you with the UTech family.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All right, at this time, we will move on to just giving a brief overview of what our registration enrollment process includes. All right, at this time, I know that we're all, or you are all, anxiously awaiting on the enrollment information as it relates to the commencement date, because you're so eager to start at UTech. All right, so enrollment for graduate students will commence on the 24th of August. What does enrollment involve? Okay, enrollment per se, I know that some of you would have been in our system before. You probably are familiar with the semesterized system. Others might be familiar with the non-semesterized system. But as it is currently with our graduate course of study, what we have and what we utilize is a non-semesterized system. What does that mean? You don't select modules. What you simply do is to select your payment options. That payment option varies as per course of study. For instance, you have some course of study, you may have two options of payment. You may have a plan A, which is referred to as a full payment. Additionally, you may have a plan B, which is referred to as a semesterly payment. Vice versa, some course of study brings a plan A, which is a full payment, or a plan C, which is a monthly payment. Once that has been, you have decided on which option of payments you will be using, the next step will be for you to complete your payment. Payment is very important because it assists with you completing your registration process. Once you have made payment, we have various payment agencies. As was stated by Mr. Moore, our website is updated with a lot of registration and enrollment information. We have presentations on the enrollment process. We have our various payment guidelines and all of that. What I will encourage you to do is to also use that as a guide when you're seeking enrollment information or guidance as it relates to payment. Once you're through with selecting your payment option and you have made payments accordingly, you will have to wait 2 working days in order for financial clearance to be granted by our student financing department. Once financial clearance is granted, you are then required to revisit our website at www.utechjamaica.edu.jm in order to accept and confirm the university's regulations. Once that is complete, you will now be considered a registered student. All right, we don't leave it at that because, as I said, it's a registration process. This also involves you completing a medical. At this time, based on COVID-19, where we're practicing social distancing, what we're doing is to limit the visits to our offices. And as such, what we have done is to provide an email address in which you may complete your medical form. You may have it downloaded from our website. You may have your medical practitioner complete that form, after which you will be required to scan and email a copy of your medical report and your immunization card to UTech Med Center at utech.edu.jm. Let me go again. You will email your medical report and your immunization card to utechcentre@utech.edu.jm. In the event that you may find yourself on campus, you may feel free to visit our medical center at our Papine campus and have it submitted. Or if you find yourself at our Dome Street campus in Montego Bay, you may submit it to that campus as well. In addition to your medical, you will also be required to have your IDs done once you are a currently registered student. Your IDs may be taken at ID services. They are located on our main administration campus at our Papine campus. All right. At this time, what I would like to do is to hand over to Mr. Khalil Hutchinson, who is your student union president for this academic year. And I should say, he is re-elected student union president for this academic year. He will talk to you about the student union, the responsibilities, and of course, how to become a member. Mr. Hutchinson.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Francis. And as you say, yes, I am re-elected the president of the Student Union Council. And in a brief run through, I like to tell the graduate students how to become members of the Student Union Council. And there's something that is unusual because this year we currently don't have a graduate rep as yet. So you guys actually have the opportunity to become the graduate rep in September. So how can you become the graduate rep? It's simple. You would have to apply through the Student Union Council. There are certain conditions that we can discuss at a later date. So just apply for it, and then you will go through a process known as campaigning, which is similar to what is going on now in our local atmosphere. And students will just vote, and once they have the confidence in your manifesto, they will elect you as a graduate rep. However, in the interim, graduate students have 3 representatives. It's myself, Ms. Robin Murray, who is the first vice president, and Ms. Ashana Peart, who is the academic advisor. If you want to reach any of us, you can reach myself on the UTech Students Union Instagram page, which is at UTech Students Union. You can reach me on my personal Instagram page, which is at Khalil Hutchinson. Also, there is our website, which is utechstudentsunion.com. And I'd just like to highlight a few offerings for this year from the council. So the first one, which will appeal to many graduate students, is our lecture series, because we certainly believe in holistic development. So it's not just about events and socials. We actually believe in academic development as well. So the lecture series, the first one, we'll have our interfaculty championship. So this is actually crown the faculty and night of the year. So it will be really good if we actually have a graduate student to be crowned the night of the year. Because what they realize is that majority of graduate students sometimes just come to university and they just hit the books and go home. Understand that majority of students are busier, but still you should enjoy your university life here. The other thing I like to highlight is a few academic initiatives, such as the Project 100, which is a feature in which students who don't have internet connectivity will buy data plans so you can access internet and actually complete your work. The other one is the academic help desk. So that is a centralized system in which any student at all, if you're having any issues, you can go on the UTech Students Union website and log the issue there. We also have a WhatsApp group. Therefore, if you cannot get through to any of the above mentioned, you can actually contact us via the WhatsApp group. The other thing I like to highlight is our general grants and bursaries. I know that the graduate fees might be a bit more expensive than undergraduate, but still we cater to all students. So you can apply for various grants and bursaries through the Student Union Council, and we will definitely assist. And the final thing I'd like to remind everyone about is that our orientation activities starts next week. Well, for the Student Union Council, it's next week Tuesday. It actually starts on this upcoming Sunday. But for the Student Union Council, we actually introduce you to the other members of the council. We'll go more in depth of how to become a member, as well as we'll introduce all clubs and societies to you, the student. So just overall, I want to encourage all graduate students to ensure that they participate this year, because you don't know what opportunities might be here for you. I'm just going to share a brief example of me. I've been to 6 hotels so far, and to be honest, I haven't paid for one. And that's just because I took my opportunities here and participated. So in anything, I just want to encourage you to participate in the council. You might not be the graduate rep, but you can go on the committee and work your way up to becoming the rep. So in closing, just participate, ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to me, because I'm easily accessible. I'm going to say the websites again. So it's UTech Students Union, and that's our website. On Instagram, it's UTech Students Union. On Twitter, it's UTech Students Union. On Instagram for me, it's Khalil Hutchinson. Also, ASU.academic affairs. You can reach us on any of those social media platforms, and we will assist. So again, participate and enjoy your university experience. Thank you.
All right,
Yes.
thank you, Mr. Hutchinson. All right, before we go to our question and answer segments, I would just like to highlight a few things as it relates to you enrolling. All right, one of the first thing is for graduate students, just to be reminded, you do not select modules. I know some of you are used to that method of enrollment. However, for the graduates, it's a different method of doing so. As I had said before, what you do is to select payment options. Secondly, as it relates to you logging on to your students portal come August 24th, what will happen is you will see fields in order for you to log in. It will ask for your username being your ID number. Your ID number is the same as your applicant's number, which can be found in your offer letter. So that is also for you to note. Thirdly, as it relates to orientation for graduate students, this will be communicated to you by your various faculties and colleges of when your different orientation sessions will be. All right? At this time, I am going to ask that we open for question and answers.
All right, so the first question is from Po Chen Yang, and it says, if I apply for deferral, when will I be able to get a response?
All right, as it relates to deferral, let me go through the process for that first before I answer your question. In the event that you're interested in doing a deferral is only for one academic year. The process is what you are required to do is to go online, download the FSAC or a CSAC form, have it completed, have a copy of your acceptance letter placed with that form, and have it submitted to the Students' Relations Unit. So that is the process as it relates to when you will get a response. I am uncertain, but I know for sure that they will respond to you in adequate time.
All right, Amanda Shear says, for persons who have applied for a business program, will they be given a decision before the 24th, considering they will need to make arrangements for rent?
Yes, it is our aim to have a response to you before the commencement of classes, of enrollment, I'm sorry. So what we will do, we will try to see how best we can speed up the decision-making process so that we can have a response to you before enrollment commences, which is the 24th of August.
May I also add, Ms. Francis, that I was in dialogue just this afternoon with the Associate Dean for Graduate Studies in the College of Business and Management, in particular concerning the MBA. And she assured me that she was working assiduously on the files for decision making, as you have indicated, in the shortest time.
Thank you. Additionally, you may also view our fee payment guide on our university's website. That is also there for your perusal. May I have the next question?
All right, Whitney Scott says, what if you have been locked out due to multiple attempts and are unable to reach a system administrator?
Okay, what you may do, you have two options. The first one, you may email me at gavette.francis@utech.edu.jm. That is gavette.francis@utech.edu.jm. You may also call our office line, which is 927-1680-8. You may dial extension 2802 or 2831. Additionally, you have our Tier 1 support at utech.edu.jm, in which you may send your request.
All right. The next question is from Matthew's Beautiful. Currently, if you log in onto the portal, there's no option to select a payment option. Will that option be made available on the 24th of August?
Yes, that is so, because we have not yet opened up for enrollment. Once we are open, then yes, that option will be made available to you. All right, at this time, what I will do is to ask Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson just to provide some financial information, some frequently asked questions, and provide some responses as it relates to how you do your payments, how it is that you seek financial clearance, if not granted automatically. Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson?
Good afternoon. I'm the first one. You had asked about financial clearance. Okay, so financial.
You may go ahead, Mrs. McLeod.
Okay, so once students have selected modules, once students have selected their payment option, either plan A, plan B, or plan C, they will pay the required amount in order to get financial clearance. Now, financial clearance is granted within 48 hours because you would have paid your fees, and it will be updated in 2 clear working days, and then the financial clearance will be granted. Now, for students who would have paid and they have not received financial clearance within that stipulated time, then they would contact the office at 927-1680, extension 3013, or email studentcollections@utech.edu.jm. They will provide us with their receipt so we can do an investigation. What was the other question?
What we also would like is just additional information about some of the issues that students, might encounter from time to time and how they can navigate through those financial.
Okay. Financial. Okay. So for persons who would have paid at some of the agencies, especially NCB, we are having an issue with persons paying at the ATM. So we're asking students not to pay at the ATM. They should use the bill payment option only. Bill Express is not an online platform for UTech right now. So we're asking students who are using Bill Express that they should go in-house. For Paymaster, they can always do their online. And for NCB, it's the bill payment option only. So students might desire to pay using the transfer of funds method. So we're asking students not to do that method, because what will happen is that your payment will not be updated within the 2 clear working days. And then you will have to contact the office, and you'll be required to complete a form, because as our policy is that we do not do anything on a student account without their written permission. So in order to avoid all those delays, we're asking students to just stick to the approved agencies and the steps that we have given, so that your account can be updated within the stipulated time, so that financial clearance can be granted. After financial clearance is granted, then you will log on to the student portal and complete your enrollment step and follow the other processes. For persons who are sponsored, we're asking that you send in a written sponsor request. It must be signed by the person, and the website gives there's a presentation that gives you what information should be in the commitment letter. Now, a commitment letter is only valid for 1 month, right? So we're asking students to liaison with their sponsor to ensure that their payment is remitted within the stipulated time, to avoid any delay, because the student will be required to pay the amount if their sponsor have not honored their obligations. For persons who are doing wire transfer, I'm not sure if there's any overseas student. We're asking students who would have paid via wire transfer that they must submit their confirmation at studentcollections@utech.edu.jm as soon as possible, because what this does is that we will have to do some updates for you, and we want to ensure that the students your account is updated within the stipulated time so that you can continue on the registration process. For persons who would like to acquire loans, I know the issue with persons acquiring loan to pay their fees. So we're encouraging persons that they can apply to the Student Loan Bureau. They have a graduate program, a graduate loan for 1.2 million, and it's accessible each year, and the deadline is August 31st. So if you're still interested and you have not, you are still wondering where the funds will be coming from, you can engage the Student Loan Bureau and any other institution. So in order to avoid any delay, we're just asking students to just take the necessary steps to ensure that they're enrolled and register within the stipulated time.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson.
You're
On the
welcome.
note of commitment letters, I know that some of you may have needed, for instance, to seek funding or school payment, assistance with payment of tuition from your various organizations or your sponsorship agencies. A commitment letter is what those agencies would normally ask for, along with a copy of your acceptance letter. In the event that one is required, what you're being asked to do is to make a request to our student financing department at fincustomersupport@utech.edu.jm as it relates to you seeking a commitment letter from us. Additionally, as it relates to a physical copy of your decision letter, normally we do letters via email in addition to post. In the event that you're not in receipt of such letter, you are advised to visit our office at the Papine campus, in which you may request a copy. I will invite questions.
All right, question from Ryan Anderson. What is the expected class schedule? Will it be on the weekends?
All right. For various courses of study, it differs, as was explained earlier. Class schedules are issued by the various colleges and faculties. Once a class schedule is ready to be issued, then your faculty will liaise with you as it relates to schedules. Yes, there are some courses of study that are offered on weekends. There are some that are offered throughout the week. However, as I said, it differs, and you will get such information at your faculty orientation.
Next question. If there's a balance on my account, will I be required to clear that balance before I am allowed to enroll in the graduate program?
I will ask Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson to respond to that question.
Okay, so for students who have outstanding balance on their account, you will need to ensure that that balance is paid before you are able to be granted financial clearance. So once the system has assessed your account and there's a balance, it will stop right there, and you will be prompted with a financial clearance message to say that you will need to clear this outstanding balance before you can proceed into a new academic year, right? And also for graduate students, you have a payment plan. Now the payment plan, usually a plan B for example, would be for September, January, and May. And if you miss your payment, you are automatically blocked. And once you go on the student portal, you will not see the student tab. So that is a first indication that you have a balance. the student tab has been removed, so you will not be able to go any further. Right, so once you have cleared your account, the outstanding balance before or on the due date, then you will not have a problem. So the outstanding balance must be paid at all times.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson.
Next question for small classes, what is the expected mode of delivery?
As was stated previously, as it relates to classes, their scheduled times, the mode of attendance, at your faculty orientations, you will be advised of such.
When do we expect classes to begin?
That also, your faculty and the colleges will communicate such.
Is the term registration and enrollment used interchangeably?
Yes, they are.
What are the payment methods available? Can checks or RTGS payments be used?
Thank you for that question. Mrs. McLeod Tomlinson?
Can you repeat, please?
What methods of payment are available and whether checks or RTGS payments can be used?
Okay, so for checks, managers' checks only can be paid at our agencies. If you have a company check, you will deliver that check to the student services building. There's a student financing rep that will process your information there. So the steps is that you will drop off the check and you will collect the receipt at a later date. And students are advised to collect their receipt within two weeks of submitting your checks. And of course, you will navigate your student portal to ensure that you're seeing the payment. And if you're not seeing the payment, we are asking you to just give us a call because we're not sure if anything is happening on your account. For RTGS, that option, although it's not approved because your account will not be updated within the stipulated time, we will facilitate companies that does RTGS. And you must submit the confirmation to student collections at utech.edu.jm. You'll be required to complete a form so that your account can be updated from the unit that does updating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Francis, could you repeat the medical email?
Sure. The email address to upload your medical report and your immunization card is utechmetre@utech.edu.jm. That is UTech Med Center at utech.edu.jm.
Next question, what action should be taken by persons who have not yet received their acceptance letters?
Once, as it relates to you not receiving your acceptance letter as yet, as I said, we would send them, our medium is to send your acceptance letter or your decision letter via email and to your post office. In the event that one is not yet received, you may visit our Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management at our Papine campus, or if you are in the West, you may visit our Dome Street campus. In the event that a decision is not yet made, we are trying our best to have that done in time for enrollment, when enrollment commences on the 24th of August. And as such, you should be hearing from us before that time. Thank you for your questions. I hope this session was informative. As I had stated earlier, that information may be found on our university's website, where you may go, you get detailed information about enrollment and how we go about completing that process. At this time, I just want to take the opportunity to wish for you and your families a safe time during this COVID-19 pandemic. We hope that you continue to keep safe. We look forward to seeing you, and we thank you for sharing and joining with us this evening.